Today we are going to talk about whether or not Elementary Pro is worth it in your business, and I'm going to compare the Elementor Pro versus the Elementor Free. If you're new here, I've done a lot of tutorials on how to build your website with Elementary Pro and how to build your blog with Elementary Pro and full disclosure. It is one of my most favorite tools that I really couldn't live without in my business. But that doesn't mean that it's right for everybody. There might be times where you just want to stick with the free version. Instead, a lot of you have messaged me asking me whether or not you should invest in Pro or whether you can get away with the free. Now, today I'm gonna answer that question for you. Before I dive into all the things you can and can't do with Elementary Pro versus free, I will say that really the only time I recommend staying with the Elementary Free is if you only need a one-page website, something really simple that just has your business information on it. Like you just need to get out there on the internet and you don't need to start diving traffic or collecting leads or worried about conversations and things like that in your business. For something simple like that, the Element Free is perfectly for you. It's easy to use and it's something that you can expand and grow with later on. But as soon as you want to start your own posting content like a blog post or podcast episodes or YouTube videos and things like that, or you want to start collecting email opt-ins, you want to start driving real traffic to your website, then you are going to want to upgrade to the Elementary Pro. Now, you can work around some of these things with other plugins and other tools. So, if you still decide not to go with Elementary Pro, but just to warn you, when you start stringing together a bunch of different plugins or a bunch of different tools just to get the job done, you're gonna run into a lot more technical issues and just a lot more to manage on your part. Your website could get bloated and start running slower. All bad things for your website. So I do not recommend if you are going to build an entire site and drive traffic and publish content and collect leads and email opt-ins and things like that on your site. Then it really is a smart investment to go with the Pro. So let's go ahead and break down the things you can't do with the free version that you can do with the Pro version. So you can make the right choice for you. You can go to the Elementary website and go to their features section and see the breakdown of all the things that are included with the free Elementary and everything that included with you go with the Pro. But this page can be a little bit confusing, so I'm just gonna run through a quick list of all the things that you probably want to do that you won't be able to do. So if you have just the Elementary free, so one of the biggest drawbacks with the free Elementary is that you cannot do forms. There is no form widget. This means that you can't create an opt-in form or a landing page with an opt-in section or a login page or something like that. Now you can get away with using another plugin to do this, but this feature alone makes the $49 the Elementary Pro worth it, because in order to get a really good opt-in plugin or a tool that you're gonna use to collect leads in your business, $49 per year is a really small investment for that level of functionality. Elementary does integrate with all of the major email service providers too, so you should never have an issue collecting leads no matter which email service provider you use, and along the same lines of collecting leads on your website. As there are no pop-up forms with Elementary free, but if you ever running a promotion or you just want to have a pop-up on your page for email opt-ins, you won't be able to do any of that with the Elementary free. You also will not have the countdown widget, which is another conversion tool that you might want to use on a landing page or an opt-in page. And you also won't have the navigation menu widget, which seems like a small, but this does mean that you will have to build your menu for your website by hand, and it won't be dynamic, meaning it won't just automatically pull in your pages. As far as the look of your website, you will not be able to do custom fonts, which means if you are having special branding or custom fonts that you want to use throughout your brand, you won't be able to upload them like you can with the Pro version. So there also is not a post widget, meaning you won't be able to display your blog post on different pages and sections throughout your site. There's no motion or per design feature. So if you wanted to have any like scrolling motions or your website or something fun like that, you don't have that functionality with the free version. You also don't have these social share widgets. So if you're creating a blog post or podcast post or video post and you wanted to add social share icons so people could share that content, you don't actually have that widget to do that with the free version. Again, there's other plugins that can do these things for you out there. I'm just warning you again that you don't want to have a bunch of different plugins. Another big feature that you don't get with the free version is that you don't get WooCommerce widgets. So if you're ready to sell physical products or digital products or even subscriptions and memberships, then WooCommerce integrates really well with Elementary. Now, they make it really super easy, but when you have the free version, you are not able to get all of the WooCommerce widgets and build out your WooCommerce shops within the Elementary. So that's a big one that you want to think about where your business might be 3-5 years from now. And if you want to sell any kind of a product, you definitely want to have the Elementary Pro version. And then probably the biggest feature that I think is missing from the free is you don't get to use the template and functionality. And this is one of the things that I love the most about Elementary. And if you have watched any of my tutorials on it, and if you have seen my tips and tricks video, then you know that I absolutely love the template functionality. Your headers and your footers are gonna be repeated and consistent throughout your whole site. So you just need to update your header once and it updates throughout your whole site. So hopefully you can see that all the things that you want to do with your websites are possible with the Elementary Pro version. The Elementary Free is a great way to test it out to see if you like it and maybe design a simple one-page website just to get yourself out there on the internet. But as soon as you need more functionality, then Elementary Pro is an extremely good investment. It's one of my most favorite tools that I can't live without in my business. I absolutely love it and I think it is a smart investment. If you want to read more about Elementary versus Divi or Thrive Architect and some other things that make Elementary Pro a great investment, I did a full blog post that is linked in the description down below. So you can go and learn more. Let me know if you have any questions and I hope this video helps you to make the right decision in your business.